Wait! Spanish doesn't have just this and that. It has 3 levels, este, ese, and aquel. And most Spanish learners use them wrong. Are you making this mistake?
Today, I'm putting on my Spanish profesora hat to help you master a topic that, honestly, trips up so many language learners. We're going to conquer Spanish demonstrative pronouns together. Now, I know, demonstrative pronouns sounds like a total mouthful, right? But we're literally just talking about those incredibly common everyday words, this, that, these, and those. In English, super straightforward. But in Spanish, because words have gender and number, and because it's a very geographically specific language, well, these little words can cause a bit of confusion. But hey, don't worry. By the end of this journey, you're going to know exactly how to point out any object, anywhere, with absolute confidence. All right, so here's our roadmap for today's journey of distance. First, we'll look at things close to home. Then, we'll learn a neat trick called dropping the T. After that, we're exploring way over there before stepping into the neutral zone. And finally, we'll wrap the whole shebang up with your ultimate cheat sheet. Let's dive in. Section 1. Close to home. Objects in immediate reach.
Okay, so we're talking about objects you're literally holding, or that are right here with you. But before we learn the actual words, we really need to understand the underlying mechanics. Whenever you want to say this or that in Spanish, you actually have to run through a quick 3-step checklist in your head. It's kind of like a tiny puzzle. Step 1, identify the distance. Is it near you, a medium distance away, or far away? Step 2, identify the gender of the noun, masculine or feminine. And step 3, identify the number. Is it singular or plural? Once you've got those 3 pieces, picking the perfect pronoun is an absolute breeze. So let's look at things right here in our hands, using our green indicator for closeness. For a masculine object like a book, we use este libro, this book right here. Now notice, and this is super important, even though it's masculine, it ends in an E, not an O. Este. For a feminine object, like a pen, well, it's exactly what you'd expect. It changes to an A. Esta pluma, this pen right here. I really want you to focus on that clear articulation with me. Este libro, esta pluma. Now, listen up, because I really need to highlight a huge pitfall here. Take a close look at the word esta. It looks completely identical to the third-person singular form of the verb estar, which means to be, right? The absolutely crucial difference is that tiny little accent mark on the verb. Esta means this. Está means is. This brilliantly illustrates why accent marks matter so much in Spanish. Like, they literally change the entire meaning of the word. So when you're writing, be sure to keep that accent off your pronouns. All right, let's move on to pluralizing these words. If I'm holding multiple books, I need to say these books. To make este plural, we don't say estes. Actually, scratch that. It transforms smoothly with an O. It becomes estos libros. And for our pens, estes simply takes an S to become estas plumas, these pens. This distance is incredibly useful for everyday shopping, by the way. If you're at a market holding 2 beautiful items, you can smile and say, quiero comprar estas plumas. I want to buy these pens.
Okay, I want you to be an active participant here. Take a second and just look around your living room or office right now. What objects are within arm's reach? Are you holding a phone? Este teléfono. Do you have your keys nearby? Estas llaves. Seriously, look around, name the items, and apply este, esta, estos, or estas. It is a fantastic way to instantly lock in that vocabulary.
Moving on to section 2, dropping the T, objects just out of reach.
So now we're looking at objects a medium distance away, stuff that's in the same room but just out of your grasp. To master this, I have a golden mnemonic rhyme for you. Say it with me. This and these both have T's, that and those don't. Let me repeat that because it is literally your secret weapon. This and these both have T's, that and those don't. If it's close to you, the Spanish word has a letter T in it. If it's further away, we just drop the T. So if you want to ask a clarifying question about something across the room, you use a pronoun without a T and simply ask, ¿Qué es eso? What is that? Let's see that rhyme in action using our yellow indicator for medium distance. We take our close words, este and esta, and we simply drop the T. Este becomes ese libro, that book right there. Esta becomes esa pluma, that pen right there. See, it really is that simple.
And you know what? The pattern continues beautifully for our plurals. Drop the T from estos, and you get esos libros, those books right there. Drop the T from estas, and you get esas plumas, those pens right there. So remember, If you're asking someone to hand you something from across the table at home, you're going to use the yellow zone. Ese, esa, esos, esas. For example, pásame esos libros, por favor. Hand me those books, please. All right, section 3. Exploring way over there, far distance. Picture this. You're exploring a new town in Spain. You're looking down a long road, basically grabbing your metaphorical binoculars. For this blue far distance category, we use entirely different words. For a masculine noun, like a building, we use aquel edificio. That building way over there in the distance. For a feminine noun, like a house, we add la. It becomes aquella casa. That house way over there. Really pay attention to my pronunciation here. Aquel, aquella. This is absolutely perfect for travel and asking directions. You could point down the street and ask, Perdone, ¿cómo llego a aquel edificio? Excuse me, how do I get to that building over there? Now, to make these plural, we introduce a little spelling change. We're going to add a double L. Remember to use a beautiful, clear Spanish pronunciation here. That double L sounds like a ya or soft J, depending on the region. So, aquel becomes aquellos edificios, those buildings way over there. And aquella becomes aquellas casas, those houses in the distance. When you're pointing at the horizon, that double L is for sure your best friend. Which brings us to section 4, the neutral zone, ideas and situations. So far, we've talked about concrete, physical objects, books, pens, houses. But sometimes we refer to things that don't actually have a specific gender, like a general situation, a matter, or a broad concept. For these, Spanish has neuter forms. Now, a quick warning, these end in O, which normally screams masculine, but in this specific case, they are strictly neutral. Esto means this situation here. Eso means that matter. And aquello refers to that abstract idea over there. You only use these when the gender of the thing you're talking about is entirely unknown or purely abstract.
Here's a perfect real-life dialogue example that you will hear all the time in everyday conversations. Hablemos de esto más tarde. Let's talk about this later. In this sentence, this isn't a book or a pen. It's a situation, an argument, just a general matter. So we use the neutral form esto. It is a highly useful phrase to just keep in your back pocket.
And finally, section 5, your ultimate cheat sheet. Let's bring this all together into one big picture. Notice the color-coded categories. In the green, near category, see how everything has a T? Este, esta, estos, estas, esto. In the yellow, medium category, we drop the T. Ese, esa, esos, esas, eso. And in the blue far category, we use the unique forms aquel, aquella, aquellos, aquellas, aquello. To truly master this, here is your 1-week study schedule. On Monday, only practice the green near words. On Wednesday, focus entirely on dropping the T with the yellow medium words. On Friday, tackle the blue far words. By Sunday, you'll be mixing and matching all of them perfectly. You can see exactly how the gender, number, and distance all intersect flawlessly right here. So what does this all mean? Well, the absolutely crucial point is application. We started by looking at what was close to you. Now, look out your window. What objects are far away from you right now? Is it a car, a tree, a building? Which pronoun from our cheat sheet are you going to use to point them out? Practice this today. Point at things near you, just out of reach and far away, and name them in Spanish using that beautiful, clear articulation. That is exactly how you turn a grammar rule into a natural conversational reflex.
Let's check how much you understood. Ready for a quick challenge? This phone is in my hand. What's correct? A, este teléfono, B, este teléfono, or C, aquel teléfono? The answer is A, este teléfono. It's very close to me. Now look at that backpack. A, esta mochila, B, esa mochila, or C, aquella mochila? Correct. B, esa mochila. It's not close, but not very far either. What about that mountain? A, B, esa montaña, or C, aquella montaña? Aquella montaña. Because it's far away. Now tell me in the comments, which one was the most confusing, este, ese, or aquel? If this lesson helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more easy Spanish. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.